stretched out to the middle. Back to Green.
Broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score! Gerardo Fords.
Good afternoon and welcome to David Sadoo Field at UBC Thunderbird Stadium, where today Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 will put their undefeated record on the line against Real Monarchs SLC. Hello, my name is Brendan Batchelor alongside former Canadian international Mark Rogers for the call of this afternoon's game. And Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 putting their undefeated record on the line. They still have yet to lose in USL play this year.
Absolutely. They've had a great start to the USL season. And up today, they're up against another team in the Real Monarchs that has an MLS team as well above them. So it'll be interesting to see the mix of experience and youth on display today, Batch.
As the Whitecaps, 6 wins, 3 draws, 21 points on the year. Real Monarchs SLC are 3-4-3, so they've got 12 points. And as you mentioned, both of these clubs with MLS sides above them. They're USL sides here, so we'll see some players that'll be familiar to fans of Major League Soccer in both lineups today.
Absolutely, especially for the Whitecaps today. We'll read the team sheets in a minute, but it's an opportunity for Carl to put a few of the guys that didn't get minutes last night at home, give them a run out today. So it'll be an interesting blend of MLS experience and youth experience.
As we take a look at our players to watch for the match today, let's start for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. Brett Levi is wearing number 46, 2 goals in his last 3 matches.
He's had a very good start. Carl Robinson's very keen on him, and I'm sure that you'll see an opportunity for him to get MLS minutes at some stage. But here's his goal last week. It's an absolute cracker to get put Vancouver 1-0 in front. In the end, they did tie 1-1. But he's had a fantastic start to his season. He's not just played in an attacking role as well, Brendan. He's played as a left back. They want to have a little look at him there. Be interesting to see how they utilize him today.
Meanwhile, for Real Monarchs SLC, Ricardo Velasco, the captain who was named to the USL Team of the Week, had a 2-goal, 1-assist performance last Saturday against Orange County.
Yeah, he's leading the line for them. 3 goals and 3 assists to start his season. He's a tricky player. He can play either on the outside. We saw him last week playing on the left side of midfield, more in an attacking role, but he can also come in and play more in a central location. Loves to get on the ball, get at fullbacks and center defenders. Caps will have to keep a close eye on him today.
As we take a look at the starting 11s for these two clubs, it is a Family Day celebration here at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium, so lots of kids in attendance. That looks like a rousing game going on down below us. But again, getting to the starting 11s for these two clubs. First for Vancouver Whitecaps FC, led by captain Kyle Gregg.
Kyle Gregg has 8 goals so far to start the season, and he'll be wanting to add to that tally today. He's a great target player. He loves to play between the posts, and you notice most of his goals come from within the 6-yard box. He'll want to. His supply so far this season has been very good as well, but he'll want to add to that tally today.
Sem DeVitt on the back end, the only player to play every minute of the season so far for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. As we look at Real Monarchs SLC and their starting 11, the captain Ricardo Velasco, who we spoke about already, will lead this club as they look to try and maybe right the ship a little bit.
Yeah, they're sort of sitting mid-table, you know. But again, this is the motive for this type of environment isn't just on wins and losses. You know, he'll want to get minutes. You see guys in this 11 like Chris Schuler, who has 80 appearances for RSL as well at the MLS level. So it's a nice blend. There's some young players, some young foreign players as well. In Omer Holness, Frater up front, both from Jamaica, and as well as Elder Torres sitting at the number 10, wearing the number 10, but also playing in the number 10 position from Honduras.
As these two sides are just about set to go, we will have the opening kick in just a moment. But let's get you to the national anthems here at UBC Thunderbird Stadium before today's USL match.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you to please rise, remove your hats, and join us for the playing of both the Star Spangled Banner and O Canada.
And with the anthems in the books, we will have the opening kickoff in mere moments. Real Monarchs SLC, Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. The first meeting of the season between these two clubs, the first of two consecutive meetings between these teams. They'll square off again at Thunderbird Stadium next Saturday night, and that might change the dynamic a little bit, these clubs having to play each other 2 games in a row.
Well, you'd expect it especially to change next week with the Caps. A lot of the MLS players, they got Froze, Bustos, Tornagi's getting his first appearance in the USL this season. So that will be a different look next week. But really the basis for their success so far this season, Batch, is getting off to great starts. I mean, you think back to 2 games ago at Portland when we mentioned Greg. He got a goal in the first minute and really sets the table for them. Before that, they played against the LA Galaxy, got into a 3-0 lead early in the game within 25 minutes. And was able to hold them off for the rest of the way. So Caps have built on their success, has been built on getting off to very, very fast and strong starts this season.
Greg's opening goal in Portland, the fastest goal in Whitecaps FC2 history, albeit just the 2 seasons, but a very strong way to start that match. And while the big club was not successful down in Portland, FC2 were. In 9 matches now, 21 points and no losses yet. They will look to continue that here in front of the home crowd out at the University of British Columbia. We talked about Velasco for Real Monarchs, but who else really stands out for you as an attacking threat that the Whitecaps defense will have to deal with?
Well, the number 9, Frater, he's a Jamaican under 20 to under 23 international. He'll offer a lot of pace. He's a dynamic player. They'll have to keep an eye on him. But also, as we mentioned, Elder Torres sitting in that number 10 role, wearing the shirt 15 shirt. I incorrectly said wearing the number 10 earlier. But he'll provide a lot of quality sitting in that hole in the number 10 position. He likes to get on the ball, get facing defenses, and he can unlock a lot of defenses with his quality.
The officials for this afternoon's match, the referee is Michelle Pye. The assistant referees are Michael Barwigan and Irina Cho. The fourth official is Scott Millicat. Whitecaps FC2 wearing the white shirts, white shorts, white socks. They will go from left to right on your television screen. Real Monarchs in the red shirts, blue shorts, red socks. They will go from right to left. There is the head coach for Whitecaps FC2, Alan Koch, and his side looking to continue what they've already done this year.
I've had a chance to speak with Alan. He's delighted with the start they've had. He's managed to find a nice balance between getting MLS minutes, like we'll see today, but also betting in young players. And the final piece of that puzzle is getting results, and they sure have gotten those to start the season. 6 wins and 3 ties. They're the only team that hasn't lost so far this season in the USL. So he's absolutely delighted with the start to his season. He'll want to carry it on again today. You know, he has 2 straight home games here against the same side. He'll want to start with the first one here with a nice result, and then you'll likely see a much changed Whitecaps 2 team next weekend.
A midweek match in the Canadian Championship for the MLS side as well that could affect things as we are underway, with the Monarchs controlling early, but the ball picked off at midfield, and Adekube will take it on the near sideline. Forced back by Brody as to play it out on the near side.
Important game for Sam Adekube today. And one of those players mentioned being loaned down from the MLS team.
Now here's Holness striding forward, playing it into the box. Looking to get on the end of that was Kevon Frater, unable to do so. Nice afternoon weather-wise for this match. It was a miserable rainy day in Vancouver yesterday. They had to have the roof closed at BC Place for the Whitecaps MLS match.
You can have no complaints about the conditions today. It's nice and cool as well. Not too hot out there.
As Kyle Gregg looking to find it in midfield. Brody will send it up the park, and getting right on that is Kevon Frater, dispossessed quickly by Cole Seiler, and the Whitecaps can clear it back to midfield. The captain, once again, Kyle Gregg, plays it back to Marco Bustos. Bustos on his left foot, looking to send Levi's through a little heavy, but the right idea.
Right idea. Kyle Gregg does a great job of holding the ball up under pressure, links up with Bustos. Bustos spots the run from Levi's. He's just not able to execute that final ball in behind of the rail back four.
Levi's a player who we've seen play at various different spots on the park. There's a big collision there. Seiler going shoulder to shoulder with Frater, and that'll draw the free kick.
Yeah, there can be no complaints about that. Seiler recognized he was a little late to that. Barges right through the back of Frater and draws an obvious free kick for the referee to make.
First set piece of the match, rather, taken quickly by the Monarchs. And a ball through, a little bit heavy. Kyle Gregg chesting the ball down. Caps unable to keep possession. And the Monarchs looking to counterattack. Frater unable to maintain control and cleared quickly by Ben McKendry. Seems like these two clubs feeling each other out here early in the match.
Certainly does, yeah. A little bit of a sloppy start for both teams.
Adekube with a nice header finds McKendry. They'll play it safely back to Tornaghi. Sem DeVitt, as mentioned, the only player on Whitecaps FC2 to have played every minute of every match this year. Out to the young Canadian Caden Chung. DeVitt with it again. A little bit tentative from Vancouver here, as Keon's froze will leave for Cole Seiler. DeVitt again. His right foot sends out wide for Adekube. He'll leave for Froze. Froze darts forward. Quick little touch there. Right to Brett Levi's. Nearly stumbled, able to keep the ball, then runs past it. And Frater will receive the ball ahead. Big collision. DeVitt looks to be in pain, grabbing his right leg. That was a little bit awkward. Caps have the ball, and they may have to put it out of play. That is exactly what Tornagi will do, with Sim DeVitt in quite a bit of discomfort.
Yeah, didn't look happy at all when he went down. It's tough to tell if whether it's a tweak of his quad. He certainly looks like he's grabbing it. But as he goes into the tackle here,
just a bit awkward.
It's an awkward tackle, and it looks like a bit of a twisting motion. You hope that he's all right.
Appears to be shaking it off now.
Walking around. Looked an ugly one, though.
He's going to give it a go, at least. Draws a smattering of applause from the fans in attendance.
Seems to be moving okay.
Paulo Tornagi, his first appearance for Whitecaps FC2 of the season, the 27-year-old. Last season in USL, 2 wins, 4 losses, and a draw in 7 starts. As the majority of the play has been in the Vancouver half early on here. Monarchs pressuring a little bit more up the park.
Yes, they are, but good composure from the Caps in their possession, but they want to move the ball just around a little bit more urgently.
As Kyle Gregg got a touch on that one with his head, and now aggressively trying to regain possession, and the Caps do regain it. Foul called, and that'll be a free kick for the Monarchs.
Gives a hint on what the intent will be from a defensive side too. Once the Caps give away possession, even that far up the pitch, they're going to pressure right away. And from a defensive standpoint, it's what the MLS team likes to do on occasion as well.
With these being 2 clubs who have MLS teams above them, how important do you think the style of play is for the coaching staff to try and have it mirror what their big clubs do?
It's absolutely crucial, mostly for if players are going to get the opportunity to come down here. They have to be on the same page right away.
Monarchs striding forward, but Chung able to deal with the danger as it comes back into Seiler. Free kick here. Back closer to the halfway line. And the defense being asked a few questions here for Vancouver in the 7th minute.
Bit of a start to the game. No real flow being established yet. But both sides looking to keep possession. They both like to play football. They're not going to be too direct. Both sides also a little bit slow and ponderous in their possession at the minute as they bet into the game.
At least to this point, Whitecaps haven't been able to take over the match and have that quick start that we talked about seeing from them this year.
It's always difficult when so many changes to the 11 with some guys playing for the first time together. So you'd expect that a little bit of a betting into this game. It takes them a bit of time to adjust to each other.
Seiler back to Tornagi, who's had quite a few touches early on in the match and out of play again. Boyd Okwanu will bring it back into play for Real Monarchs. Got it ahead to Elder Torres. Has to deal with both Ben McKendry and Marco Bustos, but was able to play it free to Omar Holness. As the ball is played ahead to Alex Sundley. Nice little flick. Sam DeVitt right there to deal with that. Keon's froze with some pressure. And both of these clubs early seem to be quite aggressive up the park in pursuing the ball when the other team has possession, as a big collision at midfield will draw a Whitecaps free kick.
Yeah, they're both looking to go win the ball back high up the pitch, which should equal a more entertaining game, because what often happens then is the game gets quite stretched. So what's going to happen today, though, is who can bypass that first line of pressure. And you've noticed already Cole Seiler and Sam DeVitt quite confident in their possession.
As Adekube will play it into the box, cleared quickly. by Schuler, and the first corner kick will go to Vancouver after a nice run up the wing there by Sam Adekugbe.
Great run. He's such a good athlete, and that's the type of thing that Robinson will be looking for him to offer this team. Not just a defender, but make sure he's supporting the attack. Great ball from Cole Seiler as well.
Fatau to take the corner kick. Curls it into the box, and the header goes over the bar. First opportunity for Vancouver here in the 9th minute.
Yeah, Ben McKendry will be a little disappointed with that. He was unmarked. Free header. Yeah, it's from quite a distance, but would love to at least have challenged the goalkeeper there.
As the pressure up the park again from Vancouver allows them to regain possession. Adekugbe got it ahead to Bustos.
You see the Monarchs are going to try and play out off of goal kicks as well. To try and play out of the back. In that situation, didn't pay off. Caps managed to win the ball back quite high up the pitch there.
Caden Chung on the near side. McKendry played it back to DeVitt. Now it comes ahead to Marco Bustos. Bustos on his left foot finds Sam Adekugbe. Quickly to Keans Froze. This is looking positive from Vancouver. Froze plays it into the box. Loose ball. Greg looking to find that as Bustos lost his footing. And the Monarchs can at least clear a bit of the danger as Frater will play it into the middle.
Good cover from Chung there. Just when it looked like it was going to open up, he was aware of the danger from Elder Torres. But at the minute, the Caps just have to try and keep the ball, get it moving a little bit more quickly. From their perspective, they'll be happy with that last little passage of play. Both center backs are providing some good forward distribution. From Real Monarchs' perspective, they're going to have to be able to bypass that high line of pressure. The Caps are going to pressure all over the pitch today, it looks like. And if they can bypass it, you'll see situations like we just saw of a 2-on-2 or 2-on-3 break. And the Caps will have to be alert to that, like Caden Chung was earlier.
Bustos again, who's seen a lot of the ball in the middle of the park early on. Now Caden Chung.
He'll be happy with some of those forward balls into his feet. He just loves getting the ball in small spaces. He operates very well in those tiny little areas. Hovers around the 18, and it gives Greg an opportunity to work off him.
Now McKendry with a ball to Adekugbe. He'll curl that into the area again. Hands up right back at his feet. Nice little flick on for Levi's. Levi's pressured, but plays it to Adekugbe. Tried to give it back to Levi's, who's frustrated that there wasn't a foul called there. Barking at the referee, but it will be a throw in.
You see Levi's is coming narrow. He's coming off the touchline, giving Sam Adekugbe lots of space to attack. It was a nice little ball from Ben McKendry. Love the early whipped in service from on the cross there from Sam Adekugbe as well. Chris Schuler was alert to that danger, dealt with it well, but it's a good start from Sam Adekugbe. He'll want to continue to get higher up the pitch. That's where he builds his confidence. He loves to, he's more of an attack, he's more like a modern fullback. Almost like an attacking player first and a defender second.
And has been able to curl it into the box on a couple of occasions early on in this match.
Yeah.
Foul and a free kick.
Looks like a handball.
And that was awfully close to the edge of the box. I think the decision from the referee will be a free kick from awfully close range here.
Yes, referee Michelle Pye was right on the scene, so certainly looked a handball from here. The only question is whether he was in the box or not. I tell you, it's right on the line. I tell you what,
that's awfully close either way.
Awfully close to that being a penalty. Let's have another
they'll
look
get
at this.
set to take the free kick.
Just as Keons Froze lifts it.
Oh.
Tough to call.
Right on the line,
right
maybe.
on the line, but on the line is in the box.
Big opportunity here for Vancouver. As the left-footed ball curled in, headed away quickly, and Fatau will recover that. Now Keon's froze. Curls it, headed on nicely by Seiler and just wide. Gregg was in the vicinity as well.
Nice little attack. Good, nice little flick from Cole Seiler as well. A tendency for a center back, and I speak with a bit of experience on this, is when you go to make that little flick is to get too much on it, but he got just enough on it. Unfortunately, Hal Gregg wasn't able to get on the end of it, but another nice little move from the Caps. They seem to be growing into this game.
Now in the 15th minute, scoreless at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. Monarchs striding forward again, though, and Seiler has to deal with that. Questions could still be asked, though. Froze. Watching Elder Torres. And it goes out of play, but the Monarchs will maintain the pressure here, working up the flank.
After a bit of a slow start from both sides, we're starting to see some signs of life in the attack from both teams at the minute. Both teams will want to start to lift the speed of their play.
And an opportunity here. Ball loose in the box. Once again, it's Seiler to clear. Battle for it there, and a foul against the Monarchs will allow the Whitecaps to get upfield yet again. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. Long ball from DeWitt. Levi's striding forward. Cut out by the Monarchs. Now McKendry. For Bustos, middle of the park. Cleared back to McKendry in the center circle. Ends up at the feet of Sam Adekugbe. Froze. And Adekugbe keeping possession. Seiler forced to play it back to Tornagi. And he'll deal with some pressure here. Able to find Adekugbe, though. Shouts for handball from the Monarchs. Play will continue, though, as Froze is dispossessed by Torres. Monarchs striding forward with numbers. Out wide for Andrew Brody. Adekugbe, bit physical on him, and that'll be a free kick at a good position and a yellow card for the Vancouver defender as well.
Yeah, overcommits. An easy one for the referee. Easy decision for her to make. But again, it's just a little bit of sloppy play. Both teams in this situation is from a Whitecaps perspective. You got Keon Frones dwelling on the ball in the middle of the park. You have great composure on Paulo Tornagi to under pressure to find Sam Adekugbe, but he takes a poor first touch. Then he puts Keon's on the ball, who dwells on it, gives away possession. Just the Caps have to lift the pace of their game right now. It's a little bit off what we've seen so far to start this season.
They'll have to worry about defending the free kick from Elder Torres here right away. He'll hit it with his left foot, curling into the box. Headed away, but right to the foot of number 2, Boyd Okwanu, who rattles the woodwork. And the Caps aren't quite done defending here, as it is cleared away eventually, but that was very nearly the opening goal from Okwanu.
Oof. Bit of a get out of jail free card there. On a second ball, hits it about as cleanly as you can on the half volley. Strikes the woodwork, and a bit of a let off for the Whitecaps,
who will now look to counterattack. Brett Levi's putting in a good effort as McKendry fouls Holness there, and that'll be another Monarchs free kick, but oh so close to it being 1-0 for Real.
It's a fantastic opportunity for them. On the second ball, off a set piece, Torres hits it very cleanly. Wonderful strike, bit unlucky. to see it come back off the bar, but big let off for the Whitecaps and a bit of a wake-up call for them. See, they're fouling quite frequently. That can be an indication on, yeah, there's a determination to go win the ball back, but a reckless determination at times.
Adekube with a long ball that Levi's couldn't quite reach. Kyle Gregg will pursue quickly.
Look, the throw in for the Whitecaps. I think the referee's got that one wrong, but excellent endeavor and work rate from Kyle Gregg. It's moments like that he's provided sparks to the rest of the team. He's a good leader. He leads by example up there.
Definitely a physical presence up front for Vancouver, to say the least.
He certainly is, and he's more than just a target player. He puts a real shift in. He's a little more mobile than most traditional target type players, as you saw there.
Some good pressure allows the Whitecaps to win the throw-in. Gregg going up for the header, but ball cleared high in the air. Sifu looking to bring it down. Fatau Sifu, that is. Falls to Caden Chung. Seiler. And a big foul there as McKendry was taken down from behind by Kevon Frater.
Yeah, another easy decision for the referee. The amount of fouls is making this a stop-start game so far. It's really chopping the game up, but from a Caps perspective, you saw how they want to play it quickly. They're trying to up the tempo, which is good, a good sign from their perspective. But the amount of restarts is really making that difficult.
This type of a match could very well benefit the team that scores first.
It certainly could, or a set-piece opportunity. And you saw the Real Monarchs in a second chance off a set piece almost cash in. The Caps will be hoping they can do the same on this one.
Bustos to hit it with his left foot, curls it into the box. DeVitt rising, couldn't find it. Ball still free as Adekube will pursue and is unable to keep it in.
Excellent
good effort
service
from Sam, though.
Good service from Marco Bustos as well. Yeah, good effort to try and get on the end of that from Sam Adekube. And you see they're going to try and play out from their own goal kick again. Caps are set up and ready for it.
As Gregg and Bustos both watch carefully at the top of the box. And very interesting that the Monarchs would be committed to doing that when the Whitecaps play that so aggressively.
When the result being that you're going to roll it to your center back on the edge of your 18, only for the center back to hook it another 15, 20 yards. Seems more risk than reward in that situation, but they're obviously
Kyle
working
Gregg right
on. And this is what that environment, when it's a reserve type team, that we don't know what the indication on what the coach has been working on. They can use those type of situations as a development tool as well. But they're definitely looking to play out from the goal kicks, and the Caps are ready and well aware of it. Twice now one possession back in the opponent's half off their goal kicks.
As Fernandez will boot that into the Whitecaps half, and a quick foul by Chung will draw the free kick. Yet another foul and another set piece in the 23rd minute of this scoreless draw. Tornagi collects for Sam DeVitt to Caden Chung. Again, DeVitt looking for Gregg up the park. Cleared right to Sam Adekube and out wide for Levi's. Adekube with a run forward as Levi's holds. Back to Froze and then out wide to McKendry again. He'll switch the field. Caden Chung, the recipient of that.
Great ball for McKendry.
Chung darting forward here. Leaves out wide for Fatau. On his left foot into the box. Gregg drops it off, looking to get on the end of that one as Levi's drops to McKendry. He scores! What a strike from Ben McKendry.
Fantastic. It all started with McKendry as well. Great switch of play to Caden Chung, who attacked the space very well. And he doesn't get stopped there. He goes and he arrives late in the box on a knockdown. Great composure from Brett Levis as well. He doesn't just smash it. He keeps possession and ends up setting the table very well for Ben McKendry here. Another nice little ball into the box from Fatau. Good composure from Brett Levis to set up Ben McKendry for the finish. But it's a well-taken finish because the ball was bobbling into him. So nice control on that volley, or that half volley, rather. So excellent start. So now the Caps, despite having a bit of a choppy first 20-something minutes, they've managed to get their nose in front. Now the onus is on the opponent to come back at them, thereby freeing up more space on the counterattack for the Whitecaps when they win possession back.
McKendry in the 24th minute, and it's Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-1, Real Monarchs SLC 0, and another opportunity. Here they come forward. Kyle Gregg scores off the centering feed from Sam Adekube, and bang, bang, it's 2-0 for Vancouver.
What a great attack. Excellent attack by the Whitecaps. Sam Adekube getting into that space he loves so much in behind of the Real Monarchs fullback. Nice early whipped in cross, and Kyle Gregg, that's where he likes to operate, right between the posts. Seen him score over and over again. This is 9th marker in an early USL season. Fantastic ball again from Brett Levis. Sam Adekube, once he gets in that space, he hits it nice and early. It was exactly what a good striker wants. Get it in there while the space is there. Whips it into that area, and Kyle Gregg, as he's done so often this season, doesn't let anybody down. Excellent move by the Whitecaps to put themselves 2-0 in front.
Gregg's team-leading 9th goal of the season, and the quick strike offense for Vancouver, who looked like they might have been on the back foot early in the match. They now lead 2-0.
Well, it's funny how goals change games, and that first goal from Ben McKendry, frankly, came not out of nothing, but they hadn't been creating much from an attacking standpoint up to that point. But it really seemed to just turbocharge them coming off the next kickoff, because two opportunities for the Whitecaps, both ruthlessly put away. And we've seen a lot of that in this early USL season from them. When they get into those areas, they can be very ruthless. Against the LA Galaxy here a couple weeks ago, put themselves 3-0 in front for 3 opportunities.
As the Monarchs look to respond, but Paulo Tornaghi will deal with that one quickly, and that really changes the complexion of this match just before the half-hour mark.
Well, you see that they're going to try and pressure high up the pitch as well. But now it really does change the complexion, because from a Real Monarchs standpoint, they'll be wondering what just happened. I mean, they've had one come back off the woodwork. They've looked quite comfortable in this game up until that first goal. It'll be interesting to see if they start to chase the game, thereby leaving themselves a little bit more exposed. But of course, it's early yet. It's only a 26th minute. 2-0 is a funny scoreline. The next goal really is the most important one at this stage. 3-0, and you'd like to think at that stage it would be done and dusted, but 2-1, and then the momentum shifts very quickly and just in one moment. So the Caps will have to be on their toes. Make sure they don't get too happy and complacent with that 2-0 score.
Join Whitecaps FC 2 back at Thunderbird Stadium next Saturday, June 4th for Footy and Film Night. Watch the Caps in a rematch against Real Monarchs and stay for a post-match movie. For more information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. As another set piece here for Vancouver could answer the question about the next goal if the Whitecaps can execute here.
Yeah, and Kyle Gregg again. Back to goal, draws the foul from the center back.
Curled into the box, touched on by Froze. Gregg pursuing. Ball stays in play. And a collision there will give the Monarchs the free kick, but asking questions again, Vancouver.
You can see it again, even from this set piece, they're going to look to play out everything. Nothing direct from the Real Monarchs. I applaud them for it, but they put themselves in a couple tricky situations. Caps are really aware of that tactic that they're using. They're pressuring very high up the pitch. Those 2 goals have really injected some life into this game. Up to that point, it had been a bit ponderous, slow. Two very well executed finishes from the Whitecaps, and you can almost see now the life in them, moving the ball a lot more quickly.
And probably in the long run, much more content to hold possession, although they do still look like they want to get up the park.
Certainly do, and they know that with a guy like Kyle Gregg, he only needs half a chance to put it away.
Here could be half a chance the other way, though. Kevon Frater on his right foot from distance. Tornagi, not much work to do there.
It's poor. He's done all the hard work by spinning Sam DeWitt. The minute he gets turned, he has to get towards goal with a lot more energy and urgency there. Far too slow, and in the end, a pretty sloppy finish from Frater. It's those moments, if they want to claw their way back into the game, that they have to take, at least challenge the goalkeeper more.
Here's Adekube again. He's been a central figure in the Caps offense, and another opportunity. Although no one could knock that one goalwards.
He loves getting forward, and he's done very well so far at that in this game. You know, I counted at least 5 or 6 times where he's gotten in behind the Real Monarchs back four. And he's a real threat. He's an absolute athlete. He's so quick, athletic. During his time in England with Brighton, they were very keen on him. But it's an important game for Sam as well, because he hasn't really been afforded many MLS minutes. With Jordan Harvey so consistent as he is up at with the Whitecaps MLS side, it's important that he puts in a good performance today.
Yet another free kick for Vancouver. A high arcing ball into the box. Ends up back with Fatau to Ben McKendry. Fatau into the middle of the park for Keons Froze. Touched on quickly to Marco Bustos. Now back for Caden Chung. Adekube to Bustos. He'll dart through the midfield. Again for Adekube. Give and go with Bustos. Then ahead for Levi's. And he'll punt it back for Cole Seiler in his own half.
Confident possession by the Whitecaps.
As Chung strides forward, he'll play a ball into the box. Cleared quickly. Bustos retreating. Finds Adekube again. Adekube thought about trying to play it in again, but thought better of that. As the Caps continue to hold on to possession here. McKendry in the center circle.
Definitely their best spell of possession so far in this game.
As Adekube gets forward, nice ball.
Oh.
Gregg almost on the end of that one. The flag is up for offside.
What an inviting ball in from Sam Adekube. Just asking Kyle Gregg to get on the end of it. In the end, he looked like he started in an offside position. But another good attack. You know, that must have been a 30 pass move, resulting in a really well executed cross from Sam Adekube. Unfortunately, it looks like Kyle Gregg strayed a bit offside on the cross, but another good attack from the Whitecaps' perspective. They really are growing into this game.
If you're just joining us, Vancouver with goals mere seconds apart. Ben McKendry in the 24th minute, Kyle Gregg in the 25th minute. And the home side snatching an early 2-0 lead. But the Monarchs will have a corner kick here.
A chance for the Monarchs to get something here. If they can cash in on a set piece or even a half chance, the complexion of the game will change in that instant. Plenty of football to play. Long, long way to go.
It will be Elder Torres on his left foot. Curls that one into the box, headed away. As Fatau will settle things down. Ahead for Levi's, and a nice run through the middle by Keons Froze. That was cut out by Kavita.
Well dealt with by Kavita. Couldn't. There's no margin for error there. Really nice ball by Brett Levi. Saw the run from Keons Froze.
Elder Torres for Omar Holness. Monarchs coming off a 3-1 road loss to OKC Energy FC. Now trailing Vancouver 2-0. Here's Okwanu. Out wide. That'll be a throw-in. Curling ball into the box. Safu with his right foot. Fatal. Clears ahead for Caden Chun, who keeps it in. What a run. The young Canadian. Into the midfield. Leaves for Bustos. Chung continuing forward. Bustos can't find him. Leaves out wide for Levi's instead. Brett Levi's, top of the box. Taken down just outside the area. Referee Michelle Pye waves play on, and the Monarchs will clear.
Good opportunity there, and it all comes from Caden Chung's endeavor. Doesn't quit on it. Just when the whole stadium thought it was a certainty to go out for a throw, and he didn't quit on it. In the end, created a good opportunity for the Caps to take advantage of.
Now Bustos ahead. Greg goes down in a collision with one of the Monarch defenders, and Frater has it for Real. Now a long ball from Holness. Dealt with by Vancouver at the top of the box. Cole Seiler ahead for Brett Levi's. Nice little touch to Adekube. Bustos plays back to Seiler again. Bustos for Froze to Levi's. Ahead for Adekube. Quick touch passing from Vancouver. Froze nearly concedes possession there under pressure from Ricardo Velasco.
Caps are really growing in confidence with their possession. Must be extremely frustrating for the Real Monarchs, going these long stretches without being able to get their foot on the ball. And when they do, they're going to have to move the ball much more quickly if they're going to unsettle this Whitecaps defense.
And you have to imagine now with the 2-goal lead that Vancouver will be content to do this for much of the remainder of the match.
Yeah, they're not just keeping the ball, they're working into some nice areas, and they're starting to really threaten this back four.
Here's Fatal, long range shot on his right foot. He calls for handball. Play will continue as the Monarch defender stays down. Took that one from quite close range. And the Whitecaps will put it out of play. Because I believe that's Max Lakowecki down.
Yeah, he takes it right in the chest. It's one of those scenarios, just winded him.
That'll take the breath out of you pretty quickly.
Yeah, we've seen how much venom Fatal can put into his strikes. He can really strike a ball, and Lakowecki found that out the hard way a moment ago. But it should be fine to continue. It's one of those situations. Definitely smarts for a moment, but once you catch your breath, you should be all right.
Become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive news and interactive content. The USL is on Facebook. Delay here as the Caps did put it out. Freddie Juarez, the head coach for Real Monarchs, with his side trailing here.
You wonder what's going through his mind. Definitely one of the things he'll want to address is how quickly they move the ball when they do get it back. All too often it's been very, very slow and predictable, their possession so far. If they want to get back into this game, they're going to have to up the tempo of their play. Far too easy for the Whitecaps as well to keep possession. Earlier we saw them trying to pressure higher up the pitch, and you wonder whether that's taken a little bit out of their legs, but at the minute it's been so easy for the Whitecaps to retain possession and move the ball around almost unopposed.
Surprising that the captain Ricardo Velasco hasn't really had an impact on the match yet either.
Yeah, just wondering how often he's managed to get himself on the ball. He is their real threat, and it's been largely anonymous thus far in the game.
Adekube for Froze. Quick give and go with Bustos. Froze trying to nick it over the defenders there. It ends up on Adekube's plate there nonetheless. Now Froze curls that one in. Here's Fatau. Took the ball down, couldn't keep possession, and then ends up fouling the Monarch defender.
Great ball by Kian's Froze. Spots the run of Fatau. Excellent run. A little bit loose with his first touch, enabling Chris Schuler to edge him out. Win the ball back there, but another nice move by the Whitecaps. And what must be really pleasing from Alan Koch's perspective is the fact that when they're getting possession, they're looking to play forward all the time. They're only playing sideways and backwards now if they absolutely have to. And it's a good indicator that he's starting to get on the ball a little higher up the pitch now as well. He can be a real attacking threat despite the fact that he's playing in a holding midfield role.
Adekube putting the ball back in play. Free kick for Vancouver. It will be Froze and Bustos standing behind it. Froze plays quickly to Levi's. Sam David out wide for Adekube. A lot of the attacking play has gone through him on that left flank. And he's got it again. Now for Levi, striding quickly ahead on his right foot. Just too far for Bustos to reach it, but yet again the right idea from Vancouver as they look to continuously play it forward.
Levi's loves to come narrow with the ball. He loves running at players with the ball at his feet. In that situation, just a little unlucky, a little slightly overhit. Wasn't able to connect with Bustos. Nice run as well from Marco. But for all these attacks, funny, they've had really two opportunities and they buried both of them. Besides that, I haven't really asked any questions of the Real Monarchs goalkeeper.
And if you're a Monarchs supporter, you're probably lamenting what might have been off that chance for Okwanu that rattled the bar.
I think they'll be disappointed with how they've addressed going 1-0 down and more or less capitulating for the second goal right away. Will disappoint Freddie Juarez, I'm sure. So at halftime, the onus now is if they can keep it at 2-0, is to get themselves moving a little bit more sharply in possession.
As a yellow card shown there to Kevon Frater. First caution of the match for Real. Only one yellow card for Vancouver. Sam Adekube earning that. As another long ball forward. Kyle Gregg couldn't find that. Shouts that maybe he might have been shoved a little bit.
Both center backs for our Monarchs will know they've been in a game today. Kyle Gregg puts a real shift in up there. Must be very frustrating to be contested for every half ball, every direct ball.
Sam David clearing quickly from the box. Froze. And Gregg working out wide. Gregg curls it ahead. McKendry with some room to work. Flicks it on for Levi's. He's got a chance to hit that one. Couldn't quite catch up to it. Will lay off for Adekube. Sam Adekube for Marco Bustos, top of the box. Now McKendry on his right foot. Curling ball. Santa ahead. What a play there as Bustos nearly found it. Then Adekube strikes with his left foot. Hits the outside of the goal.
Excellent
but another
attack.
Great attacking play from Vancouver.
It starts with Kyle Gregg's service into Ben McKendry. But Caps knocking on the door. If they can get that third, you know that it's probably too much for them to get back into it. Sam Adekube does everything right there. He keeps it down, just not able to hit the target. Decent technique on the strike, but you wonder if he hits the target, if it's going in. Look to me like Fernandez had his near post covered. Another nice attack from the Whitecaps, and Real Monarchs really look like they're chasing shadows at the minute ever since the second goal's gone in. Whitecaps have really upped the tempo of their possession. It's all been so easy for them to retain it as well.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Dying embers of the first half here, but the Caps may not be done. Bustos quickly dispossessed by Kavita, as that was another promising attacking movement sniffed out by the big center back for the Monarchs. And at the other end of the park, Real really not able to generate too much, save for that one opportunity that we've spoken about quite a bit.
Movement off the ball is poor. Not providing enough options for the player with the ball at his feet. Far too ponderous from their perspective. If they're going to generate chances, they're going to have to come to life in a hurry here.
Now Fatal able to win the throw in there for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. 6 wins, 3 draws, no losses, and now leading 2-0 in their 10th match of the year. And in the last few minutes here of the half, as we'll learn how much time will be added on. Looks like it'll just be 1 minute. That is indeed the indication from fourth official Scott Milliket. So not a ton of time to work with, but the Monarchs snatch a goal right before the halftime whistle. And that is the captain, Ricardo Velasco, a lifeline for Real.
Well, we mentioned him on at the top of the broadcast. He's their danger man, and he showed it there. Have been struggling to create anything in attack over the most of the first half. But what a first touch. And it's a nice little ball here from Frater into his feet as well. He spots his run. He arrives late. And as he gets there, he sets himself perfectly. Great first touch, and he gets the strike away very quickly. Not allowing enough time for either the two center halves to get a block on it. Excellent strike back across goal. Ternaghi really had no chance on it. But that's that next goal we're talking about. Now the game changes in that one moment.
Although Vancouver striding forward. Could it change again before we get the halftime whistle? And no, it will not, as referee Michel Pye will end the opening 45 minutes. An entertaining first half, to say the least. Goals at both ends, albeit the Whitecaps will be disappointed to concede that late one.
Yes, they will. It's always disappointing to concede a goal so close to halftime. Gives sort of Alan Koshloff to tear up his team talk at halftime and come up with a new plan, because at 2-1 now the game has changed. So the Caps can be largely happy with much of their first half, especially once they got their first goal. They really upped the speed of their play. And it only looked like there was one team going to get the third goal. But in the end, it's those one little moments, and those moments come down into quality. Velasco provided that. What a great first touch and a quick strike back across goal to get his team back in the game. Signs of life from Real, but still, Caps will be happy with their first half. They're still got their nose in front. And onus is on them not to get too discouraged with conceding such a late marker.
We'll take a look back at the first half highlights in a few moments, but through 45 minutes of play, it is Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2, Real Monarchs SLC 1.
Shoots and scores!
Return from Mane. It's Kakuta Mane. It's absolutely spectacular.
Easily one person.
Yeah, Pa.
Yeah, right away.
Easily.
Pa for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
You see, you rap, you hey, you go. The rapper do say fast, say, hey.
What are you speaking?
I don't know.
Pa.
Yeah, hands down.
I from Gambia coming through to the ghetto. Everybody know me, I don't know why you filming. So let's drillin', krillin'. I'm the new rapper on the street. They call me Pa PMK40.
Boy, you're a legend, boy.
Pa for sure. For sure. No questions asked.
Zach is filming it, huh?
Remember what they said in media training?
Zach is a bad man. Zach is filming it. Look at him.
Pa.
Yeah, for sure. Bye.
Easy.
Easy. He's been rolling the whole
But
time.
Zach is a bad man. Now, imagine we say something bad now. Zach works for FBI.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes, Papa.
Outside the field, inside the field, in the locker room, in the bus.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. I say Pamodika.
Oh shit. You speak Pamodika, you crazy. You speak your own father than loudly. Because I have to teach with some of the youngsters. Because they don't hear good.
First of all, you're going to have fun and learn to play a little soccer.
Argentina. Argentina. You're Canadian.
This is just fun watching the kids with their eyes wide open, watching these players.
Big heroes to our kids, so it's just a wonderful night.
So the donations are all for BC Children's Hospital. Everything that we're doing here is suggested donation of $5, with all the money going to support the BC Children's Hospital Foundation. Thank you.
It's not gonna happen though.
It's fun because they are happy, so that's the most important. Look, see.
Yeah, right here. So important.
Everybody should like the Whitecaps.
Why's that?
Because they're awesome. Oh my God!
Think about it. You know Bachelor?
No.
You ever seen the TV show?
The next Bachelor. Christian Dean.
Dude, it's going to get me in trouble.
Yeah.
What channel? MTV?
Don't look at me. See? They want to put me in trouble. I left my ring home, baby. You know me. I still love you.
I didn't even look at you.
This is the new Bachelor right here. You're looking at Gambia's next Bachelor, Mr. Kekuta Solomon Bandi Mane.
Yeah. So like, you ever seen, oh, do you accept this rose? They give the flower and the girl say, oh yeah, I accept this rose.
No.
I'll show you, man.
No, it's time for
Yeah,
TV.
no, it's good. It's a good show.
If you are between 21 and 45, you know, just give a call.
I bet you someone else just said Kakuda.
Everything he said is wrong. Even my name, he said it wrong. So
Why? Your name is Solomon Bondi.
One guy, all the girls, and he chooses one girl.
Ben McHenry.
Ben McHenry?
Ben McHenry would be a great...
Some of the younger guys.
Yeah, I'd say Ben.
I'll show you.
maybe in Spain, I look at this program, but I'm not sure.
So who we picking?
Does it have to be a single guy?
Doesn't have to be. It's up to
What do you mean doesn't have to? What kind of problem? You want to bring people in problem? You see, don't answer that. That's reporters. You're trying to bring married people into trouble, man.
I'm not gonna pick a
So
married.
pick yourself.
I'm not gonna pick a married
Pick
guy.
you. It's done.
I don't want to be the bachelor.
You gonna be the bachelor.
Chance.
He is the bachelor. It's either him or
Bustos, man.
I don't know about you, but I think I'd pull it off.
Bustos.
I'd be a good bachelor.
A few people have said that actually.
Hey, yeah, boy.
I'd be a good
I'd watch
bachelor.
that show for sure. Oh,
I'd
yeah.
watch my own show, man.
No, Bustos.
Busty?
No, not Bustos.
If I have to pick, it doesn't matter who's single or not, I will pick Rossi.
I think the girls would probably love him would be Christian Dean.
No, not Diener. Come on. Come on, man. It's too easy for you. That hurts. In a good way. Okay.
So you don't feel
The
it?
thing, I don't feel it. No,
Why?
it's not for me.
Why not?
He's got a good heart.
He's not shy. I don't want to be in the bachelors.
Okay.
He does have a good heart. I fuck Kukuda. I'll see you on the next Bachelor, Kukuda.
It's actually interesting, quite
You watch The
interesting.
Bachelor or Bachelor in Paradise?
Bachelor in Paradise.
You watch that?
Yeah.
No, that's one I like because there's a lot of craziness going on. and
Well,
sometimes,
yeah, final answer, Rossi.
sometimes my wife drags me to watch it though. But,
So all these girls,
And then the girls
they
fight.
fight each
Yeah.
other for the one guy. One guy that speaks to all the girls.
Harvey,
He's married, bro.
but if you know,
If
it's
you
married,
don't-
but maybe. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Good to see you back in Vancouver.
Back here at UBC Thunderbird Stadium, where Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 lead Real Monarchs SLC 2-1 through the first half, alongside Mark Rogers, as we'll get here quickly into the highlights from the opening half. And early on, Kyle Gregg had an opportunity to put the Caps on the board.
Yeah, great little flick from Cole Seiler. Wasn't able to get on the end of the flick, but that was when they showed signs of life.
And then at the other end, the Monarchs striding forward. Adekube forced to take the foul there. That was a yellow card caution, and it set up a set piece opportunity for Real.
Yeah, a little sloppy defending there from Sam Adekube, and in the end, we're a little bit unlucky, or a little bit lucky not to have gone 1-0 down.
As Okwanu caught the crossbar. Real's best chance early on in the first half to open the scoring, but the Whitecaps would find first blood.
They certainly would, and it starts with good composure from Brett Levi. Keeps possession, and he sets Ben McKendry very well. A little bit of a bobble on it, but he hits it very cleanly.
And just mere seconds later, as the Whitecaps celebrations had only just died down, it was Kyle Gregg who would build off that lead.
And again, there's Brett Levi's with a great little ball in behind to Sam Adekube. And Sam doesn't take an extra touch. He hits it, whips it in behind the back four. And we've seen Kyle Gregg score a number of those type of finishes to start a season. His time of his run was perfect there.
9th goal of the year for Gregg, and then late in the half, the Monarchs got one back.
Velasco, the danger man for the Real Monarchs. What a great first touch and finish by him.
As Real made it a 1-goal match late, in added time, in fact. But the Caps do remain ahead. Couple of yellow cards in that first half as well. Kevon Frater for Real Monarchs, Sam Adekube for Vancouver, and the fans really enjoying the weather out here at Thunderbird Stadium, as you can see.
Well, there's one lad that's having a good time, that's for sure, on family day.
Good tussle for the ball down there.
Another well-worked goal, Batch, in the the little man's game.
And we've got bubble soccer taking place on the field as well. Always an entertaining afternoon or evening out here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. As we take a look at the halftime stats, as I mentioned, just the one yellow card caution for each club. A lot of fouls, though, 11 for Vancouver and 9 for Real.
Yeah, and that's to start the game, there was plenty of fouls, and it really slowed the game right down. But as the Caps got their nose in front with those 2 quick-fire goals, the fouling seemed to die down a little bit. And what happened was the Caps started getting on the ball, get possession, and it looked like there was only one team that was going to score from that point. But in the end, the Real Monarchs with a bit of a sucker punch to end the first half. Fantastic bit of individual skill from Velasco. It made it a more interesting second half, that's for sure, because it's 2-1 now. Anything can happen. A little bit of positivity from the Real Monarchs coming out, but you'd like to think from a Caps perspective that they can look back at the first half and in a half that they largely dominated and be positive as well. So it'll be interesting to see what approaches both the coaches take here in the second half.
Only 2 shots on target for Vancouver in the first half. They both found the back of the net.
Yeah.
As the sides make their ways back out onto the field.
They both find the net, and that's been the sort of MO for the Whitecaps to start this season. They've been very, very good at punishing the opponents. They don't need that many chances to create goals. And something that I'm sure at some stage you think with Kyle Gregg's goal tally being at 9 from, what are we at, 10 games, pretty remarkable return. You just start to wonder if he'll get an opportunity with the MLS club at some stage. He certainly earned it at this level.
As we'll keep an eye and see if there are any changes, and it looks like there will be at least one for Vancouver as Davy Flores is striding back out onto the park in full kit. So we'll wait to see who he's going to replace, but it looks like Davy Flores, another MLS loan, will come into this match here in the second half.
Yeah, you'd like to think. It looks like it'll be Keans Froese. Davy would probably go into one of those 2 holding midfield positions. We were given the indication that he'd get a bit of a run out. Not surprised to see him coming into the game to start the second half. Really important that he gets some valuable minutes. He's coming off a bit of an injury.
19 years old. This will be his 3rd appearance for Whitecaps FC2 this season.
Yeah, another young player in the Whitecaps system. And a lot of these young players have put more experienced performances in. Pretty amazing to think with an average age often in games. Now, that's not the case tonight, but often their average age is hovering around the 20 to 21 years old mark. Pretty remarkable that they've gotten so many wins on the board to start this season.
And Alan Koch's side with the 2-1 lead here. Do you think they look to just continue the strong play they had late in the first half, or could this game change quite a bit, and could they have some defending to do here early?
Well, the big positive is after they got those goals that they managed to retain possession quite easily. If they can continue to move the ball quickly, they'll manage to carve themselves out a few more chances, and then it's just down to whether they can cash in on them or not. From a defensive standpoint, really, you think about, they had 2 opportunities, and you're just looking at the sub there. Keans Froese coming out for Davy Flores. So just a like-for-like change, not a tactical change. They'll likely stay with a 4-2-3-1 formation. But getting back to what I said earlier, it'll be interesting to see what approach Real Monarchs take. I mean, you saw they did hit the woodwork on a second chance opportunity off a set piece, and then Velasco scored a cracking goal. But besides that, much of their possession they were having a real hard time trying to unlock the Whitecaps defense.
As the second half is underway. Vancouver going from right to left here on your computer screen. Monarchs from left to right. And a ball through here. Levi's running forward, couldn't quite get to it, and comes up a little bit lame there, limping.
Bit of a young man's, a bit of inexperience there. When you see a center back coming with that intent, best just to stay out of the tackle. You're just inviting an injury. In the end, he took a bit of a knock.
He'll shake it off, though, as Gregg looking to create something. right at the byline, but instead it's cleared back to midfield. Atakubi. Once again, a lot of the play running through him in that first half. He gets an early touch in the second half. Now it's Chung. Middle of the park for Bustos. Tried to give it back to him. Possession conceded, then won back. Fatal looking for Caden Chung, who had made a run forward, but the pass was picked off, and the Monarchs clear it out of play on the far side.
You mentioned Sam Atakubi a minute ago, Batch, and one of the interesting things is we highlighted was it's important that he has a really strong outing today. And I think he'll be largely happy with his first half. Outside of the yellow card foul, I think he provided a lot, especially in attack for the Whitecaps. He was getting up and down that line with regularity.
As Levi's trying to chest that one down, ends up sending it out of play. Atakubi played the full 90 minutes in the 3-2 win over Tulsa Roughnecks FC on May 4th, but this is just his second start of the season for FC2.
As mentioned, it's a great opportunity for Carl Robinson as they were playing at home yesterday to give some minutes, valuable minutes, to some of these guys, and Atakubi being one of those players.
Some members of the Whitecaps first team looking on here as well. As Fatal plays it back, Chung ran past that one, leaves for DeVitt. Davy Flores looking to find Fatal. That's turned over though, and Frater gets on his bike back the other way. In the end, ends up fouling Seiler.
A little bit fortunate there. Looked fairly innocuous on the challenge from Frater, but Davy Flores giving away some fairly cheap possession there. It'll take him a few minutes to sort of get into the speed of the game. It's always difficult coming on as a sub, especially in the middle of the park where everything happens so much more quickly.
Join Whitecaps FC2 back here at Thunderbird Stadium next Saturday, June 4th for footy and film night. Watch the Caps in a rematch against Real Monarchs and stay for a post-match movie. For more information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. Here's Flores. Ahead for Greg. Flicked onto Levi's back, looking for Greg, and shouts maybe for a handball there.
An awkward one. Just wondering whether Kyle Gregg could have gotten a touch. The minute it bounces on this turf, it makes it much more difficult, but an unsettling moment for the Real Monarchs defense.
Flores for Caden Chung. Now DeVitt, defensive side of the center circle for Cole Seiler. Long ball out wide for Fatal, unable to keep that in. Chung ahead for Bustos. He's got Fatal with it. Bustos will cut inside. Looking to play it for McKendry. Now picked off nicely by Chung, and the Caps can get forward again. Fatal beats one defender, couldn't beat the second. Chung in to help out. Flicks it into the middle. Bustos unable to find it. And now here's Frater quickly back the other way.
Oh, great
darting
tackle.
Run forward from Andrew Brody, but the tackle means that the ball won't reach him at all.
Fantastic tackle from Sam DeVitt.
Good work by Levi's to send it out wide for Greg. Now Atakubi. Ahead for Levi's again. Nicely turned. Couldn't quite get around the defender Okwanu, but
yeah, well defended by Okwanu.
Great work by Levi's yet again.
Yeah. Real Monarchs will be happy with how much more quickly they're putting the Whitecaps under pressure once they win the ball back. A little bit slow at times first half to do so, but doing a much better job of disrupting the Whitecaps' possession to start the second half.
Now Chung.
As you see there, they're winning the ball back a lot easier than they did in the first half.
Here's Caden Chung getting forward into the box. That ends up fouling Alex Sundley.
Yeah. It's a good run from Chung again. Both fullbacks have full license to get forward. But in the end, a pretty easy call for the referee. Foul. Won't be too discouraged by that, fouling about 105 yards from your own goal.
If there's a place to do it, that is it. Again, the short goal kick.
Yeah, they put themselves often in undue position, undue pressure. But this time they're able to work out their way out of it. But you just got to wonder with players like Chris Schuler. Yeah, he's experienced, but not the type of center back that just loves being on the ball under pressure. You just wonder whether you're just inviting a mistake.
Foul there from Fatau, who got a talking to from the referee, but no card flash. Now another chance there. Oh my goodness.
What a goal.
What a strike. Ricardo Velasco again, and we're even at 2 goals apiece.
What a goal. Cuts back onto his right foot and he shapes up perfectly to whip it in at the far post. And he doesn't just do that, he's whipped it in off the far crossbar and in. Nothing Tornagi can do about that. But what a cracking goal. Again, just shows his quality. Look at it, he sets himself perfectly onto his right foot, adjusts his body absolutely perfectly. And there's not a goalkeeper in the world that's saving that. An absolute cracker. That'll be up for USL Goal of the Week. Definite candidate for that. And all of a sudden it's 2-2. And we mentioned how important the next goal was at 2-0. 3-0 game over, 2-1 game on. And with 2 great moments of quality from their danger man, Velasco.
Velasco in the 51st minute. And you said it was game on at 2-1. It's definitely game on at 2-all.
Be interesting to see how the Whitecaps react to that. 2 real moments of quality by Velasco.
Now
excellent
Bustos
finish.
Ahead for Fatau. Couldn't keep possession, top of the box. And Frater trying to get away from DeVitt, who took him down. And that'll draw the free kick just inside the attacking half, rather, for Real Monarchs.
Important the Whitecaps don't get too discouraged. 2 gut shots from Velasco has gotten them right back into this game. Be interesting to see how much that affects the Whitecaps from a confidence standpoint.
As Fatau with a foul there, and once again receives an earful from the referee, Michelle Pye. Follow at USL on Twitter to keep up with all of the live action during the 2016 USL season.
Wow. We'll be talking about that goal for a while.
Indeed they will, but will the Whitecaps have a goal to talk about here as Bustos pressures up the park, and that pressure once again pays off for Vancouver. Flores for Chung. Looked to be fouled there by Velasco, but play continues, and here's Frater with space up the wing. Frater cutting back onto his right foot for Elder Torres. Now for Lakawecki. Ahead for Velasco, cutting into the middle again on his right foot, trying for the same goal twice. Bought another ticket, but that time it didn't pay off.
Whitecaps going to have to learn their lesson much more quickly here. He gets in behind Davy Flores, and Davy Flores just lets him go, which will disappoint, especially for a player that's come on at halftime. Should be fresh as a daisy. At the minute, he's given away too much cheap possession, as you see there. But from a defensive standpoint, if they don't start to look after Velasco, you fear that it's just a matter of time before he gets his hat trick. Really is their danger man in attack.
And for a player who we spoke about as not really having an impact until very late in the first half, his impact has been felt by everyone in the stadium here.
Absolutely. 2 great moments of quality from him.
And the Monarchs seem to have a bit of confidence as a result as they get forward again.
It's given them a big lift, those two goals, that's for sure.
Now Lakawecki striding forward, got around Chung, plays it on his left foot, looking for Torres, comes back to Lakawecki.
Yeah, offside.
Offside called there. The flag up on the near side.
Well, they're attacking with a lot more confidence now, the Real Monarchs. And you saw that. How often have we seen Lakawecki get forward in this game? Not too often, but over the last 5 minutes, he's managed to do so a little bit more and not just get forward, be quite dangerous as well. So from a Monarchs perspective, they'll be super happy with how things have transpired over the last sort of 15 minutes, including the end of the first half.
And the Whitecaps will look to try and get some of that momentum back their way. As it looks like Real will have a substitution here in the offing, but Adekubi again will play it into the box. Kyle Gregg in the vicinity. Couldn't come up with it, but now McKendry in a battle with Andrew Brody, and Brody comes away with it, playing it through. Frater runs onto it. DeVitt looking to catch up to him as Frater cuts in. Goes to ground, but no foul there, and Vancouver has possession again.
Another dangerous attack from the team in red. Sam DeVitt does very well to recover. In the end, executes his tackle well.
Bustos fouled by Velasco. That will draw a yellow card caution for number 10 for Real Monarchs.
Looks like both teams are getting ready to make a couple changes.
Yellow card caution to Real Monarchs.
As we see Will Seymour preparing to come in for Vancouver. Colin Rolfe about to enter the match for the Monarchs. And it may not be Seymour, in fact.
Looks like both Seymour and Davies are readying.
The youngster, Alphonso Davies, with his shirt on now as well. We'll keep an eye on that and see where they end up fitting into the puzzle here. As Davy Flores controls, looking to play through for Fatal. Lakawecki got in the way of that one.
Likely both straight swaps. Will Seymour for likely McKendry. You've seen Will Seymour in that holding midfield position.
Thomas Gardner up with his kit on now as well, and we could be seeing 3 changes for Vancouver.
Yeah. Alan Koch's way of trying to give them a little boost. He knows that the momentum is now really switched.
As the substitutions will now be made for Real, it will be Kevon Frater coming out for Colin Rolfe. Rolfe wears number 14. And Frater has had quite an impact on this match.
He has, especially to start the second half. Good athlete, likes to get in behind defenses. Could have been a little bit more proactive on some of those attacks.
It will be Seymour on for Bustos.
Entering the game, number 58, Will Seymour.
Or rather McKendry, but Bustos came out as well, as did McKendry and Adekubi. Seymour, Gardner, and Davies all entering the action.
Alan Koch only has 1 more sub left. He's made 4.
Of course, we remind viewers that in USL you do have 5 substitutions rather than the usual 3. As Levi's takes the corner kick into the box, headed on. Foul called there as it went wide of the target anyway.
And again, they set up to try and play out. Again, they give away possession. That's 3 out of 4 of those. They've failed to retain possession.
Interesting to see whether they change their shape too much here, as they've got Davies on the left flank with Greg in the middle and Fatau out on the right. Levi's takes it to the byline, curls it in. Lakawecki there to deal with that.
Great
Maybe
ball.
Not quite as confidently as Lakawecki would have liked, but nonetheless, the Monarchs get it out to midfield, and a foul drawn there.
Onus on Fatau to seal the back post and really attack the ball with a little bit more vigor. He's a little slow to the party there. Excellent delivery from Levi's. Caps have to be a little bit wary. The game's lulled into a little bit of a slow period, and with a player like Velasco on the pitch, just wonder how many more opportunities he's going to get. He doesn't need much with his quality to cash in.
All USL matches are available live free and in HD on YouTube. Follow the action on the USL YouTube channel. As we thank you for joining us here this afternoon, Brendan Batchelor, Mark Rogers, cast of thousands behind the scenes bringing this match to you here today. Our Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 and Real Monarchs SLC are tied at 2 goals apiece. Vancouver had the 2-0 first half lead, thanks to goals by Ben McKendry and Kyle Gregg, but Ricardo Velasco has a brace for the Monarchs to bring them back to level pegging.
Good attack by Flores. Looking to link up with Fatau there. Just not able to get on the end of Fatau's pass.
Davies pressuring Okwanu, who was forced to play it back, and it ends up at the feet of the keeper, Eduardo Fernandez. Fernandez will get it again, this time from Schuler. Now in the 64th minute. Davy Flores to the center circle for Seymour. Out wide for Brett Levi's, who, although he's getting forward a bit here, seems to have dropped back into that left back role vacated by Sam Adekubi.
Yeah, it certainly does. Now, we mentioned at the top how we've seen him play in that left back position quite frequently this season. They're definitely trying to develop him into a left back. So it's an easy decision for Alan Koch to give him some minutes back there. Get the youngster on, Alphonso Davies. He certainly doesn't play like a 15-year-old.
Davies could potentially see action in the Canadian Championship for Vancouver as well.
That'll be wonderful to see.
Called up to the Whitecaps first team for that competition.
Bright future for him. Pretty remarkable, 15 years of age, and not just playing at this level, contributing very well as well. And it's not just filling a space on the pitch for the sake of it. He's put in some excellent performances in this early season so far.
His size definitely helps him with that, a big boy up front.
Yeah, it's amazing to see him shrug off 26 and 27-year-olds. Must be really frustrating if you're defending him and getting bullied by a 15-year-old. But he's no shrinking violet. He's a tough kid. And speaking to some of the guys that work in the residency program, the youth are very keen on him and very, very hopeful for his future.
As the Monarchs will take a corner kick here, and it looks like it is going to be Velasco. Torres there as well. A chance to try and snatch the lead as Velasco curls it in, but there to collect is Tornaghi, and he'll fire it up the park quickly. As Fatau runs onto it. Foot race there. Fatau able to keep it. Plays it through nicely and then gets it back. Fans getting behind the Whitecaps as they dart forward. Fatau fouled near side, and pretty good position for a set piece here. Good work by Tornaghi to set the counterattack in motion quickly.
You'll see, it's going to be interesting to see who takes it. You know, right, normally this would shape up perfectly for Marco Bustos, but he's been taken off. Yeah, just very late. Sloppy defending. Absolutely no reason for him to go in there. And in the end, gives the Whitecaps a good chance to get back in front here. Looks like Brett Levi's, the left footer, it's made for a left footer, this position. He's on the ball. Be interesting to see if he has a go or if he whips in across.
Could go either way. An opportunity for Vancouver to take the lead. He'll curl it in. Greg was right there but couldn't flick it on, and it's cleared by the Monarchs. Davies for Seymour. Sends it across. And possession conceded again, but they'll bring it back.
Another late tackle, and again, bit sloppy. So what happens now is you give them they get out of jail. They lost possession again in their own half.
Cole Seiler for Brett Levi's. Possession conceded there by Seymour, and the break could be on here for the Monarchs.
Flores compounds his mistake. He puts Will Seymour in a difficult spot. He's under pressure from two defenders. In the end, gives away possession, and then Davy Flores compounds his own mistake by running over and fouling the player.
He's given a yellow card as well.
And you know, those are the type of moments from a young player that they have to learn. You know, this is part of that reason for this environment. It's for young players like Davy to really cut his teeth and learn his profession. But it's moments like that that are a bit frustrating from a coach's perspective.
As it looks like the Monarchs about to make a change. Danilo Acosta appears to be set to come in, but they'll take this free kick first. Torres curls it in with his left foot. Headed away. And now Davies will take it up the park. The 15-year-old striding forward. Look at him go as he splits a couple of defenders. Here's Davies again. Out wide. Caps coming forward. Levi's has a go. And just puts it over the bar. But what tremendous work from the youngster to create that opportunity. Unbelievable.
What a great run. How many players in red did he skin? 2 or 3? And in the end, the composure shown by such a young player is great, and he provides nice little service to Levi's. Levi's in confident form today, and he doesn't miss by much. Hits it very well. Only disappointing part is he didn't challenge the keeper, didn't get it on target, but didn't miss by much. Good attack from the Whitecaps.
And at 15 years of age, if Alphonso Davies can do that, imagine what he could do when he's even 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, he has
let
a
alone
very
25 or
bright
26.
I think the important part is not to get too carried away because he is 15. He's got a long, long way to go and a lot of learning to do as well. But the future certainly does look bright for the kid.
As we mentioned, the change for the Monarchs, but it looks like there's going to be a change coming up for Vancouver. Daniel Haber set to enter the match.
And their last substitute. And the Clash will have burnt all 5.
Acosta now in the match for the Monarchs. Davies again with it out wide. Drops off, and Seymour. Some good work out wide. Now it falls back to Brett Levi's. Played it out of the reach of Gregg. Bit of a botched clearance there from Lakawecki. Davies in the box pursuing the ball, taken down. Or goes to ground anyways in a collision with Okwanu. Play will continue. Now here's Gregg. He'll hit it in or just wide. My goodness. That looked like it found the back of the net for a moment, but you can't tuck it in the short side, although it was a tremendous effort from the captain.
Oh, he finds space in those areas very well. And in the end, it all comes from a botched clearance. Ends up working its way through some nice work again from Alphonso Davies. And Brett Levi's cuts back onto his weaker foot, onto his right foot, and delivers a nice little cross. Kyle Gregg just not able to get it on target. You've seen him cash in on those type of chances quite regularly this season. He'll be a little disappointed with himself. A big chance for the Whitecaps to get back in front in this game.
As Gregg makes way after that opportunity to potentially give them the lead. And it is Daniel Haber. He does have a number of goals in his account as well.
He does, and probably a little unfortunate not to starting with all these guys coming down from the MLS. He's had a good start to his season in time here as a Whitecap.
Ball played through. Here's Haber entering the box. Quickly dispossessed. As the Monarchs will clear, but Vancouver feeling a lot more positive here on the front foot. Davy Flores for Seymour. Out wide for Fatau. He'll drop off for Caden Chung. Chung striding forward. Looking to split a couple of defenders, dispossessed, and the Monarchs will take possession and work their way up the park. This Haber's 10th appearance, so he's been in every match of the year for Vancouver. Only the second game that he hasn't started. Second on the club behind Kyle Gregg with 3 goals to his name.
Some good ones at that.
Monarchs coming ahead though. Ball intended for Velasco, not even close. And apologetic wave there as DeVitt plays it ahead for Fatau. Couldn't gain possession as the back line were shouting for offside. Doesn't matter either way.
Game's starting to get a little bit stretched now as both teams start to go for that winner. Things are starting to really open up in the middle of the pitch.
Could be a very interesting last quarter of an hour here. In what has been quite an entertaining match for the fans here at David Sidhu Field, UBC Thunderbird Stadium.
It's definitely not been devoid of goal-scoring chances.
And another chance potentially in the offing as Haber leaves for Fatau. Looking to flick it over the back line for Davies, but a little bit heavy there.
Just missed it.
And this is a Whitecaps FC2 side that does have a variety of attacking options. You look at the offense Levi's has been able to generate today. Gregg with a goal. You've now got Haber and Davies on there, both capable of creating opportunities. As Velasco ticks it into the middle of the park, Colin Rolfe scrapping for it on the far side. His shot is blocked and DeVitt clears it out, but that is going to be a corner kick.
Sloppy clearance from DeVitt, but more good work from Velasco on his left foot this time. Whips in a nice ball, but just not able to connect with Rolfe.
As The Monarchs will make another substitution here. It's going to be Tyler Arnone coming into the match. Not sure if he's coming in right away, but he's there on the touchline, getting instructions from the coaching staff. Corner kick to come first. Bit of a delay here as referee Michelle Pye makes sure she's got things the way she wants them in the box. Now it will be curled towards the goal. DeWitt missed clearance there. Caps do get it away nonetheless, but out of play.
An interesting matchup on that last corner, just noticing Chris Schuler was being marked by Davy Flores. Bit of a mismatch size-wise there.
As now it will be Arnone coming into the match. For the Monarchs. And making way for him is Alex Sundley.
Let's see if that change presents a new look for the Monarchs formation-wise.
As Lakawecki does well to keep it in play there. Whitecaps can't clear, but it ends up out of play on the near side. Check out @USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games around the USL. Once again, it's @USL Soccer on Instagram. Throw in. Once again goes the way of the Monarchs as we enter the 79th minute of the match. Davies and Torres in a battle there. Torres goes down. Whitecaps get the ball. Play continues, and they'll have an opportunity to move it up the park. Davies loses possession there, though. Here's Velasco. Playing it forward, take back. Velasco on his right foot looking for the hat trick.
Big save.
Tornaghi keeps that one out.
Great run by Chris Schuler, the big man getting up from the back.
And Velasco is so dangerous from an area like that. Tornaghi did very well to keep it out.
Did. Very close to getting his hat trick. Another moment of danger. Your all Monarchs had much stronger second half here. It was provided by the most unlikely of sources, and Chris Schuler getting forward from the center back position, making a great little run into the 18-yard box and showing the composure of number 10 with his setting of the table for Velasco. And in the end, Tornaghi bails out his Whitecaps teammates.
Seymour drops it off for Seiler. Out wide for Levi's. Levi's looking to find Fatal, comes back to him. He'll drop off for Seymour. Right-footed ball. Found by Davies. Now for Flores. Sent out wide for Chung. Haber striding forward to the box. Chung with the right-footed curling ball into the box. Couldn't find anyone. As Sim DeWitt will have another try here. Gives out to Chung. Now back for Seymour. Flicked on for Haber. Falls to Davies. He's got a chance to hit it with his left foot. Didn't get all of that one, and it rolls right into the arms of Eduardo Fernandez.
Great intent, though. Great first touch. Gets it out of his feet. Everything's shaped up perfectly. Just doesn't make clean connection on the strike. Easy save for Fernandez. I just wonder which team's going to flinch first in this situation. Who's going to push for that winning goal? The onus really is on the home side to do so.
Under 10 minutes remaining in normal time. And The Caps will hope to find a breakthrough here. They have had their looks. As the ball sent forward again, Fatal looking to recover possession.
There are chances still in this game. You think
Gardner.
back to the early chance by Velasco on it to make it a hat trick. But also think about the Greg header, the Levi strike from just outside the 18. Now the Alphonso Davies strike from the middle of the 18-yard box. So there are chances still left in this game. It'll be interesting to see if somebody can take it.
Good work by Sem DeVitt there, although he does lose possession, and Chung has to hustle back to play that to Seiler. Goals from Ben McKendry and Kyle Gregg for Vancouver. Ricardo Velasco with the brace for the Monarchs. Both goals for them. And Velasco has it there again. As there will be some more changes coming up here for the Monarchs. Big tussle there. Davies takes down Velasco. And substitutions coming here. And we understand it very well could be the end of Ricardo Velasco's afternoon, but what a shift he's put in here through 83 minutes.
He has. Amazing how anonymous he was for so long in the first half, but when he opened his account, he did so in style, and then his second goal is an absolute wonder strike. Just a beautifully executed goal. Looks like his afternoon's over. A bit of a surprise, frankly. It really did look like their one massive goal threat. It looks like the Monarchs are going to make their two final changes, so both teams out of substitutions now.
Etiangelo Tavares coming in for Ricardo Velasco. Velasco leaving the captain's armband to Tyler Arnone. And that'll be the only substitution for the time being, although they appear to be getting set to bring on Frederick Amakona as well. And the Monarchs starting forward. Lakawicki gets it into the box. Cleared by Vancouver. Davies gets the ball near side. Ran at a couple of defenders before laying off for Davy Flores. Now Seymour out wide for Levi's.
Congratulations, Jane. Please come down to the Covenant House Vancouver booth and pick up your box.
Whitecaps looking to try and cut the Monarchs open here. Although they're not finding much down that left flank. Looking to play through Levi's.
No, they're going to have to move the ball far more quickly if they're going to unlock this Monarchs defense now. They're sitting off the Caps. Much more compact than they were even 10 minutes ago.
Seymour. Nice wide ball for Caden Chun. He'll look to run into the middle. Chun gets it into the box. Haber couldn't settle it. And it ends up back at the midway line again.
Again, you're seeing the Monarchs sit off. You wonder with that last substitution whether if they're happy with the point here on the road.
As the Caps get forward. Monarchs getting set to make their final substitution of the match. Of course, as we mentioned in USL, you get 5 each side. So the Caps have used their 5 allotted changes, and this will be the 5th for the Monarchs as a long ball sent out of play there. And entering the match will be Frederick Amakona. Coming out will be Elder Torres.
Another interesting substitution. Torres has had his moments, but frankly have been few and far between. And with as slowly as Torres is coming off. Makes you think that they're quite happy to leave Thunderbird Stadium with a point. Possibly the game plan here to finish the game, but we'll see. Things have a habit of changing quite quickly in this game.
We did see the 2 goals in less than a minute from the Caps back in the first half.
Absolutely.
You never know what twists and turns we could see here in the closing moments. As that ball played through offside was Colin Rolfe for the Monarchs.
Easy decision for the assistant referee.
Davy Flores concedes possession middle of the park. Monarchs coming forward again. Ball behind Rolfe. He's offside again.
He's got to hold his run there. Strayed good 2 yards offside. It was an easy one for the assistant referee. But Davy has to, this is part, he's coming back from injury. He looks a bit rusty since he's come on at halftime. He's given away possession cheaply a number of times, but it's all part of the process for a young player.
Now in the 88th minute. 2-2 between these two clubs. And at least over the last couple of moments, the Monarchs have looked like the club that could break that deadlock.
Yeah, just a couple moments, a moment there where Flores gave away possession. And it's those moments that can change everything. It's really, if you give away possession in that area, your back four is stretched across the width of the pitch and there's massive gaps to expose. So got away with one there with Rolfe straying into an offside position, but here they come again.
Okwanu, who hit the crossbar earlier, plays the ball back. Finding it there is Arnone. Although the Monarchs forced back to the halfway line and maybe content a little bit to hold possession here if they're looking for the draw.
Yeah, the more they can, they're just looking to see this thing out. Of course, anything, if they can nick a goal, it'd be a massive bonus, but.
And that's where those concessions of possession could loom so large, as you talked about just a moment ago.
Absolutely, and you see when they give away possession, they're sitting right off now. Look at how it's 2 banks of 4 and 1 in between, so almost like a 4-1-4-1.
There's a bit of a delay here. And Lakawecki slow to regain his feet after the collision with Davies.
See Alan Koch there, just having a quick word with the young man.
As Gardner plays middle of the park for Seymour. Out wide for Levi's. His ball into the box, cleared quickly. It'll come back to him though. Back for Seymour again for Levi's, looking to stride forward. Finds Davies. Fans cheering the Caps on as Davies playing it into the box over the head of Haber, but that's a pretty good attacking movement from Vancouver. Although that final ball wasn't there.
Yeah, Levi's again. He loves to get forward, and even when he's put into that left back role, loves to get forward and loves running people with the ball at his feet. He's quite a jinky player. Not a bad cross by Davies, just unable to get it on the end of a white shirt, but have to think that at this stage of the game there'd be a few more people attacking the cross there.
It does remain 2-2. And it's going to be 4 minutes of added time, so a little bit more to work with here for both sides. Davies unable to get forward there. The Monarchs trying to work back the other way. Davies in a good tussle there with Rolfe. But he'll be called for the foul there and has words with Michelle Pye after that decision.
Bit of a strange one for me. If anything, it looked like Rolfe instigated that contact. But he draws the foul nonetheless. Now it's just a matter of, do the Caps have enough time to get anything here? Get anything going from a possession standpoint? They'll be hopeful they can create and carve out one more chance at the very least.
Lakowiecki with the set piece. Played it forward. Now back to Schuler. Out wide looking for Tavares. Levi's confidently able to nick that one away. Sent back into the Real box. Fernandez clears with his right foot. Ball bouncing around in the middle of the park. Monarchs come up with it. Tavares on the right side. Gave back to Okwanu. Now Tavares again striding forward. Nice sliding tackle by Levi's. As time continues to tick down here. Levi's and Tavares continuing their ongoing battle. Levi's wins that round.
Good defending. Nice and strong. Gets his body across Tavares and gets the throw in.
Free kick for Vancouver. They'll look to try and get it back into play quickly, and that will not happen. Seiler and Flores. Play pass before it comes over to DeWitt. Flores for DeWitt. Ball out of the reach of Gardner. Cleared back into the Whitecaps half yet again. Sam DeWitt now with the captain's armband on after Kyle Gregg left the match earlier in the second half. DeWitt plays it forward on his right foot. Haber couldn't settle that down at the top of the box. Now they'll have a chance again. Here's Haber in traffic with a right-footed strike. That's blocked away by Schuler.
Great feet there by Haber to open up a bit of space.
Gets it wide for Davies. Curls it in on his left foot. Levi's blew a tire out wide. Will keep it in though. And then plays it out off Tavares. Drawing the throw in for Vancouver in the dying moments of the match here. Do the Caps have one last goal in them as Davies knocks it down for Chung on his right foot. Haber top of the box, laid it off for Gardner, looking to find it. Is Levi's coming in. Instead, it's sent out of play. Levi's in a bit of pain there. And that could have been the moment right there.
That was the moment right there. And we're talking about that. Would they be able to carve out one more chance? And that was it. Fantastic little ball into the box. I think it was Daniel Haber initially who just didn't get a clean contact on it. Levi's does the right thing. He doesn't give up on the play and trying to seal the back post, but in the end, it's for naught and goes for a goal kick. And you notice they're not trying to play out of the back at this stage. Fernandez is going to elect to kick it.
Yeah, you might question their sanity if they tried to do that at this point in the match, which has now concluded. An entertaining affair with twists and turns in both directions will finish in a 2-2 draw between Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 and Real Monarchs SLC, rather.
Yep. Entertaining game, lots of chances. From a Caps perspective, I'm sure there'll be some disappointment. The fact they got in front 2-0 at home. We're a little disappointed that they allowed the opponent back into the game, but they got back into the game with two great moments of quality and class from Velasco. Two excellent finishes. And in the end, it finishes all square badge.
Tremendous first half from the Caps, though. McKendry in the 24th, Gregg in the 25th. After a slow start, I think it's fair to say for both teams. And suddenly Vancouver was ahead, albeit Velasco with a couple of moments of brilliance ends this match at level pegging, but lots of positives for Vancouver, particularly early and offensively.
Those two goals they scored, bang, bang, two within in the space of a minute, more or less, were wonderfully worked moves for both goals. The first one from Ben McKendry was well-taken finish and shown good composure from Brett Levi's. And then Brett Levi started the next move by setting the table for Atakubi to whip a great ball into Kyle Gregg. But really, it was that goal just before halftime, Brendan, where Velasco's opened up onto his right foot and whipped it into the far corner that really got the Real Monarchs back into the game. And it was a bit of a hammer blow for the Whitecaps at that stage.
Velasco would score twice in the second half, a brace in the or rather his first one right at the end of the first half in added time, and then again in the 52nd minute to level the match, which is where it finished. We remind you that you can join Whitecaps FC2 back at Thunderbird Stadium next Saturday, June 4th for footy and film night. Watch the Caps in a rematch against Real Monarchs and stay for a post-match movie. For more information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. Concluding the match here tonight, as we'll take a look at the final match stats in just a moment, but it's amazing for a player like Velasco, who we had commented had not had much of an impact in the first half. Moment of brilliance in added time, an even greater moment of brilliance in the second half.
We were saying, you know, when Velasco, we had barely mentioned or uttered his name up until his first goal. And it was just the timing of it was perfect. It was just before halftime. They could change how they're going to dress the second half. And really, it's his second goal was the real moment of class. The first goal is great because it gets them back into the game. And we were talking that 2-0 is such a dangerous scoreline in soccer because the next goal changes everything. If it's 3-0, it's over. 2-1, it's game on. And that second goal he scores will be up, certainly will be up for USL Goal of the Week, you'd have to think. It just whips a beautiful ball into the far top corner. I'm sure we'll have a little look. What a great finish. And in the end, 2 moments of quality and class. Got the Monarchs back in the game.
As the Monarchs and the Whitecaps play to a 2-2 draw here this afternoon, have to take a look at some of the highlights here.
Oh, we got to have this is the moment we just spoke about. Turns onto his right foot, adjusts his body absolutely perfectly. And Tornaghi would have needed a step ladder to get close to that. It was an absolutely beautiful finish. In off the far crossbar and post. Just a wonderful moment for him. Excellent goal. You see the young man getting forward. That's 2 red shirts, 3 red shirts.
Alphonso Davies creating the opportunity there.
And Levi's in the end hits it ever so well and doesn't miss by much.
A very close opportunity there for Brett Levi's.
And off a missed clearance here, Brennan. Little second chance opportunity falls to Davies. He doesn't give up on it. They keep scrapping for it. And in the end, Brett Levi's cuts back onto his right foot and delivers a wonderful little cross to Kyle Gregan. With the form he's been in this season, you would have expected him to score his 10th goal of the season. That would be one he'll be disappointed that he didn't cash in on.
And there was still work to do at the other end of the park for the Whitecaps.
And strangely, you see the big man coming up from the back, Schuler. Wonderful little run and sets Velasco, and you'd have to think that he was going to score from there, but Tornaghi makes a wonderful save.
And then the late opportunity here for Vancouver. Right at the end of the match. Brett Levi's unable to get on the end of that one. And it finishes at 2 goals apiece for the 2 clubs. Here at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium, David Sidhu Field. A great afternoon, as you can see. The weather couldn't have been better, particularly after a rainy start to the weekend here in Vancouver. The fans entertained here this afternoon to a 2-2 draw. Again, we remind you, next Saturday, June 4th, footy and film night. Caps will take on the Real Monarchs once again. Post-match movie here at Thunderbird Stadium. For more information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. For Mark Rogers, I'm Brendan Batchelor. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. Once again, the full-time score: Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-2, Real Monarchs SLC 2. We'll chat with you next week here from the campus of the University of British Columbia. Have a good evening.